cleared for takeoff, or will it be a sharp descent for the aviation industry after EU withdrawal? Here at London's City Airport, they are bracing for Brexit turbulence, and perhaps worse if there's no deal. The new boss here says that membership of the aviation single market fundamentally changed flying, and leaving it may do the same.
Having that single market has driven airfares down, and that's made flying the preserve of everyone. Unfortunately, if we lose that, the risk is that flying becomes more of the preserve of the few, like it was 30, 40 years ago.
The big question mark is the fact that, unlike other sectors, there is no World Trade Organization deal to fall back onto if there's no Brexit deal.
For critical industries like aviation, which is an enabler of other industries, of other trade, and from, of course, tourism and holidays and so forth, the consequences of a no deal are very, very significant.
The big players in the industry have been reassured that everything's going to be okay to keep planes flying because of the mutual interest of European tourism or airlines with expensive UK landing slots. But the clock is running down.
It is surely unthinkable that European planes flying to the UK or taking off for the continent could be stopped on Brexit Day, but the conversation only arises because there are those in governments who think we should walk away from negotiations, contemplate no deal. But in aviation, at the least, a deal is required to keep planes flying legally. And for those in the industry told that everything's going to be okay because it has to be okay, that approach now wearing a little thin.
Of immediate concern is Britain's status in the EU's European Aviation Safety Agency, which runs safety and maintenance checks across Europe, including the UK. And it's not just for legal flying within Europe. US authorities said last month the UK had a matter of weeks to sort this out.
It's very important that we point out that the US-EU safety agreement, as an example, when the UK exits the EU, their status in that agreement will be extinguished. Now, this is wildly important to mitigate.
EASA also certifies the safety of all airline parts manufactured in the UK, the second largest exporter in the world. And now Sky News understands that the government will ask to remain part of this EU agency after Brexit. Britain provides about 40% of the technical expertise for EASA to keep the skies above Europe full of planes. Non-EU nations such as Switzerland and Norway are members, but they don't get votes, make budget contributions, and are required to accept the indirect jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice. This would blur the Prime Minister's famous ECJ red line that runs right through her Brexit plans and runways like this. Across Europe, the industry says it needs certainty quickly.
We've been asking those questions. We've been begging for contingencies to be put in place, but we don't have answers.
But it's
people are telling us, oh, don't worry, it will all go fine, there will be a solution put in place. But when we ask, what will this solution will be and how will it work out, we have no reply.
Delicate, speedy handling of this industry is required on all sides. Sky News also understands that should talks fail, a confidential last-minute contingency involving exchanges of letters with airlines is being prepared by government to keep planes flying after Brexit Day in 2019. To avoid that 11th hour scramble, the PM looks set to accept, in this industry at least, some European control. Faisal Islam, Sky News.